how did you guys become drivers for Oscar Meyer Wienermobile?
So we like to say we cut the mustard, but they hire 12 recent college grads every year to do it for a one-year tour. So they have an online application process, and they also recruit on college campuses, which is how both of us found out about it. I graduated from the University of Missouri, and Ilana was Penn State, and both schools that we go to actively recruit at. So heard about the job. I had a friend who did it last year, and it seems like a great experience, great thing to put on your resume and get paid to travel the country. It's the best job in the world.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been doing it?
So we've been doing this since June. It's a one-year tour, so we go from June to June, but we do 2 separate halves. So the first 6 months we're with one teammate in one region, and then we switch halfway through when we have a new teammate in a new region for the second half. So Jason and I both have been driving the Wienermobile since June, but we've only been partners since January.
Okay. Describe a typical week.
There is no typical week in the Wienermobile. Every week is different. Last week we were in Nashville for the NHL All-Star Fanfare. This week we had the Walmart today. Yesterday we got to drive around Winston-Salem and just, we call them surprise and delight days, and got to give some people rides and just show off the Wienermobile. And next week we're heading up to State College to recruit next year's class of Hotdoggers from Penn State. So really every single day is different on this job, which is one of the things that makes it so great.
Cool. What do you guys do in your off time?
So the one great thing about the Wienermobile is it takes us to so many different places. So usually we're in a new city, either somewhere we've been before, or most likely places we haven't been before. So our off time is really our time to do whatever we want. I love to explore wherever I am, get the flavor of the place I am, do some touristy things, try the local food, things like that. Yeah.
Eat whatever the specialty is, and a lot of barbecue down here in the southeast, and try whatever there is. But museums, and I'm a history nerd sometimes, so I like to go check out museums, presidential sites. I went to the Hermitage in Nashville, Andrew Jackson's home. So really we can do whatever we want on our off time, which is nice.
Cool. How hard is it to drive?
It's very easy to drive. So we get special training. We have 2 weeks of extensive training called Hot Dog High up in Madison, Wisconsin, where the company is headquartered, and we're trained by the Madison, Wisconsin Police Department on how to drive the vehicle. We have to pass a closed and open course driver's test, and we are DOT certified. So we're compliant with all the rules, and once you learn how to drive it, it's like second nature.
Cool. 0 to 60 in?
We don't test it.
We like to think we can haul buns, but we always abide by the speed limit.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think will win a race between you and the Nutmobile?
Well,
Ooh.
I don't know if we've ever raced. We work, we go through training together up in Madison, so we know the drivers of the Nutmobile, and I don't think
The
they'd
vehicles
be
are
too
very
happy.
similar, so I think it'd be a tie.
Okay. He said pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
He was very diplomatic about it too. How many near accidents do you think you cause a day from people getting a second glance?
We're following all the rules.
Right.
The amount of other people we see with the cameras taking pictures.
We encourage
is,
safe driving.
Yeah.
What's your favorite stop been so far?
My 2 favorite cities I went to were New Orleans and Charleston. Both had a real cool, again, history to them, and right by the water, and those were my 2 favorite stops.
I think my favorite last half was Madison, Wisconsin, because I'm from the East Coast. So I've never really been to the Midwest, and it was cool being in the Wienermobile's hometown, because people there really just love the Wienermobile and are part of the history. And then this half, I think my favorite so far has been Nashville. Had a blast in Nashville.
If you guys, if you could be on location anywhere, where would you choose?
Hawaii.
Anywhere.
But we only do the continental U.S., so.
Yeah, anywhere in the continental U.S., somewhere in California, just to be there. We have one in San Francisco now for the Super Bowl, so
wow,
that'd be
that's
great.
the dream gig, right?
Yeah.
Strangest thing that's happened during a stop?
I think one of the coolest parts about driving the Wienermobile is just to see people's reactions when they see it, whether it's their first time seeing it or they've seen it a million times. It's the best. We'll turn a blind corner and people won't realize that we're there, and then all of a sudden we show up and jaws will hit the ground and people get really excited and happy to see us, and that's always my favorite.
I've loved, we were in Chicago, and there's a pretty small alumni group of people who have driven it. More people have flown in space than have driven the Wienermobile because they only hire 12 people every year. And we were leaving a parade in Chicago and we were stopped at a red light, and all of a sudden I see this guy jumping up and down waving his arms, and he's like, I drove it class 24 and we're class 28, so it's just running into somebody who drove it 4 years ago was awesome.
Cool. All right, final question. What's the cheesiest wiener joke you've heard?
We're the ones who make all the cheesy puns.
We make all the puns.
The king of puns.
So.
Well, give me.
No, we got.
What's your favorite pun?
It's not a seat belt. It's a meat belt. It's not a sunroof. It's a bun roof. My favorite pun.
Oh, our vehicle's very aerodynamic.
Aerodynamic.
I like to remind people that, we have a mustard splattered walkway, and I always blame it on Jason that he got too messy when he was eating his hot dogs and spilled it all over.
Yeah, but we have so many puns. It's great. People ask if we sleep in it, and we're like, it's not a weenie bago. Or when they're talking about how fast it can go, it's no Lamborghini, things like that. So it's great.
So many great hot dog puns.
Yeah.